friends, and welcome back today for a brand new video. I'm coming at you with another Colourpop review. I feel like the Colourpop palettes and collections have been just pumping out. So today I have for you their brand new Lavish collection. So we have an eyeshadow palette, there's a highlight, some Super Shock shadows, and some lippies a part of this one. I am excited to share with you how I got to this look using everything and also do some swatches on the collection and give my overall thoughts on it. So if that sounds good, let's go ahead now and get started. So this collection will be launching this Thursday. At my time, it is 1 p.m. EST, and I am very excited to show you guys this collection. I saw the sneak peeks of it, and I instantly was like drooling over it because I love purples, and especially going into summer. I feel like we're still in that spring, but going into summers, I feel like this is going to be a fun color wave to have. So this one is called the Lavish eyeshadow palette. It is a 9-pan palette, which I always love when they do the 9 pans. I have here the little card, and it says that this is inspired by the digital lavender shade that is going to be trending this year. So you're going to be seeing, I guess, a lot of lavender. I personally haven't heard that, but I'm into it if it is going to be trending because I think it's fun. The actual packaging is very cool. It has like this futuristic look to it, and I think it has a fun, whoop, if it wants to focus. I hate my camera sometimes. It never focuses for me, but it has this fun, like, futuristic, of course, look to it. And then there is, again, a closer look there at the palette. I don't think that this color wave is anything revolutionary for Colourpop. They've definitely given us purple palettes in the past, but I do think it's kind of fun to have a little bit more of a cooler take on a purple palette because I personally love cooler tones, so I like that we have those cooler options. I prefer to wear those on my eyes in most days, so I kind of like that idea. And then in addition to the eyeshadow palette, we have a new Super Shock highlighter, which we always get excited for the Super Shocks. This one is so pretty. So this is called Lab Dreams. And could you think of anything more dreamy? Like, that looks so beautiful. It has a really pretty swirl pan to it, and it just looks so nice. Again, it has that fun futuristic look to the packaging. This isn't my favorite packaging, especially when it comes to the Super Shock highlighters. I'd rather have them in like the little circle things, but I feel like this is fine. You obviously get your product's worth, and it looks way prettier in the fun packaging. And then there are also Super Shock shadows, which I love when they do Super Shock shadows because they're my favorite formula from Colourpop. And for that, there are 3 different purple shades, and I will show you a close-up of each one of the shades. The one that I have on my eyes right now, this one is called Angelic, and it is beautiful. It's kind of like a silvery purple, and it looks so stunning. You can see on my eyes it has a really pretty reflect to it. So fun. And then we also have 2 additional purple shades, of course. So this is the next one right here. This one is called So Surreal, and then the last one is a little bit more of like a gray purple, and this one is called Social Baby, and that one is cute as well. And then lastly in the collection, there are 2 different lip products. So for that, we have 2 of their So Glossy lippies, and here is a look at the packaging on those. You have more of like a true purple, and then more of like a purple pink. So very fun. I feel like this lipstick is very sparkly, very metallic, and it's kind of getting everywhere on me, but I will show you now swatches of everything. Like I said, it is going to be available on Thursday. I will have links down below as soon as it is available. I also have a coupon code with Colourpop. I will tell you guys that. That is Makeup Molly 5 if you want to save an additional $5 off your purchase, but we'll get into the swatches. I'll do those relatively quickly here so you can see the product swatch, and then we can get into the tutorial portion because I'm sure you guys are excited to see that. So here's a look at both of the lips from the collection. I'm actually surprised at how similar they look when they're swatched. They almost look identical there. So can't go wrong with either one of those. I feel like they look pretty dang close in color waves. So then we have our Super Shock shadows. So we've got Angelic, this is So Surreal, and then the last one is called Social Baby. And then next I wanted to show you a look at the Super Shock highlight. So there is that look swirled. So you can kind of see it has a pinky purple silver shift to it. You can also tell on my face. And then lastly, we'll do swatches of the eyeshadow palette. So here's a close-up of those. They all swatch really nicely, especially for more like cool tone, especially this purple that's got a little bit more of a pastel look to it. The only thing I do want to mention is that first shade in the palette is one of those like chunkier glitter shades, which I don't personally love. I could do without, especially in this palette. I feel like it's kind of one of those shades I'm probably not going to reach for. I did use it in today's look, but but most times I'm not going for it because it is a little bit more on the messy side, but the rest of the shadows look really pretty. So that is everything for swatches and all the details on the collection. Let's go ahead now and get into how I got this look using all of the products. So I did just add some of my tone activator from Kaleidos. Love this on the lid. And then we're gonna go in with our eyeshadow palette. I am gonna be using some brushes from What's Up Beauty. They sent over their brand new brush collection. So this has 12 brushes. They are goat hair brushes, which I don't think I've ever tried. So I'm very curious to give these a try. There are all sorts of brushes. We have pencil, crease blending, fluffy blending, tapered blending, domed, flat shader, small shader. So I will have these linked down below, and I'm going to use them to start with this palette. I thought this would be a good time to just showcase them in use. I have tried eyeshadow palettes from this brand only, and I do really like the eyeshadow palette that I tried, so curious to give their brushes a go. I am pulling them all out of the package and just want to mention how nice this is, this little tie-on here. I don't know that I've ever seen something have that, but it's making it so easy to remove them from the package. Very small detail, but I like that. So got my brushes out. These look super cute. They feel really soft too. They have a pink packaging to them, or a pink handle, and they are wooden, and they look pretty nice, so I'm excited to try those. And then let's get into the Lavish palette right now. So for this, of course, we are going to use as many colors as we can because this is so stunning. And I'm kind of thinking I want to do maybe some sort of, I want to say halo eye, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I'm going to do a halo eye. I think I just want to play with as many colors as possible. So I'm going to first take this R104 brush, and I'm going to use this shade right here in the corner, and I'm going to place this on my lid. So I'm just going to place it right in here, and I'm kind of going to work with these shadows in a not my traditional way. I feel like I'm going to work with the darker shades first and then go and start to blend them in together. So I'm just packing this right here on the outer portion of the eye. Very pigmented once I get a few passes at it. I feel like initially it looks not as pigmented, but once I put a few layers here, it's going to. So I'm kind of just going to more stamp the colors, and then I'll blend them out here in a second. So I'm going to move into a smaller brush now, and I'm going to take this shade right here, which is almost like a purple gray, and begin to do the same thing. I'm just going to work this right in here and just again, just kind of stamp it, but a little bit more on the lid now. So as you can tell, we're just going to make a nice gradient with all of these purple colors. You guessed it, we're going to go into the next matte in the palette and do the same thing. We're just going to bring this one right in here, and again, just tapping. I picked up this other more like dome dense brush to pack this shade. Definitely seem very pigmented, especially for a purple palette. It could be the brushes too, because I'm not used to using this type of brush, so it could be the fact that I'm using you know, the goat hair or whatever, but I do feel like it's like really packing a punch with these colors. And then we're going to use the Mood Boost one right here in the corner on the actual last part of the lid. So again, I'm just going to take that and begin to tap that on the inner part of the lid here. So now that we've got all those shadows, I'm actually just going to take this tapered brush, and I'm going to just slowly work and begin to blend everything out. So I'm just going to lightly tap in here, just soften those edges a little bit. This is kind of a cool gradient we've got going on. For the shimmer, I'm going to grab this one here, the second shade, and this one is called Serenity, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the front portion here of the lid. So just going to tap that right on top. That is pretty. Look at that pigment. That is nice. I feel like this is going to be the good kind of shimmer, because I know we talked about, was it the last collection that had that kind of like a little bit more chalky shimmer? This one is like the smooth shimmer. All right, looking nice. I'm going to grab this middle one right here and just do the same thing. Besides, I'm going to place this one a little bit further, just like right there in the middle. Ooh, I like that a lot. That's like a nice deep purple, especially over top of those mattes. And then I do want to bring in one of these Super Shocks from the collection. This one is in Angelic, and bring this all over the lid too, because this one looks too beautiful. It's like a silvery purple. It's so stunning. So I do want to bring this also on the lid. I feel like the Super Shocks are just going to add an extra element to this look. So I'm really just going to kind of tap this all over just to give us a little bit more sparkle. Like, look at that on top compared to this side to this side. Super Shocks just do so much for a look. They are so, so beautiful. Never cease to amaze me when I put on a Super Shock. This was the first product I ever tried from Colourpop, and I used to order them so often. I was like collecting colors. I had so many. I still have so many now, but back before I was on their PR, I like literally bought like every single one that they released. I am kicking myself because before I started placing those colors, I feel like I didn't fix the creases within my eye primer. So you can see like the crease right there. I knew when I was doing it, like I watched myself put the shadow down and I was like, you should blend that crease out first. And then I was like, it'll be fine. Yeah, it's not really fine, but that was a user error there. But you can definitely see like that crease especially. Honestly, such a rookie mistake. I don't know why I did that, but I'm just going to tap it with a little bit more of the Super Shock to kind of cover that up a little bit more. So that's going to do it for the top lid. Let's move into lower lash. So I'm going to go into this shade right here and begin to just sweep that along the lower lash line. And I'm going to grab some of the lighter purple right here and also do the same thing and just lightly bring that over top of the lash line as well. Then I'm going to go into this first shade. This is one of their more chunkier shimmers, and I'm going to grab this for the inner corner right there. Those shimmers are never my favorite. I mean, they look pretty on the inner corner, but I just feel like they're so dang messy. And then, of course, we're going to finish with a Colourpop gel liner. This one is in the shade Amethyst Hour. If you did miss my swatch video, I put up a video with the chrome eyeshadows, their new chrome eyeshadows, and then I also put up a swatch video on the gel liners. So if you want to see any of those swatch, go ahead to that video. I think it's the last one up on my channel. I know I've had a lot of Colourpop content lately, but I feel like they've been pumping out these new releases, and so I've been trying to keep up with them. But here's our eye look. This is so pretty. That Super Shock is just stunning. Love, love, love how this turned out. I'm gonna add some mascara, and then we'll try out the highlighter and the lips from the collection. Even more beautiful with mascara. If you are curious on the one that I use, this is the new It Cosmetics Superhero waterproof version. I love the superhero mascara, so they launched this in a waterproof version. If you haven't seen my TikTok or my Instagram post, check it out because I literally dunked my head in water trying to see if that was actually waterproof, so I'll leave that up to you to watch the video. But now we're going to try out the highlighter next. This is probably the prettiest thing, I think, from the collection. The Swirl Pan. It's like I don't even touch it because it looks so pretty, but I'm just going to lightly swirl my little brush in here. This is a Colourpop F33, and we're going to apply that to our cheekbones. So just give a nice little swirl there. That is, again, very purple, obviously the theme of this collection. It does have a little bit of a glittery look to it, so depending on how you feel about glittery highlights, just keep that in mind. It looks a little bit glittery. I feel like it kind of goes with the theme of this collection though, because obviously there's a lot of sparkle to it, but I don't always wear glittery highlights. So I don't know if it's going to be something I wear all the time, but it is pretty. It does have a nice, fun, like purple look to it, but it's not overly purple, so you'll just kind of barely see the purple shift there, but it's cute. Okay, and then we're going to finish with the gloss from the collection. So this is the So Glossy Gloss, and the one that I'm going to use is Cyberspace. So I'm just going to use this. I was going to put a lip liner on, but I think I'll just show you guys with my natural lips. I always have people say that they like that I do that so they can actually see it without the lip liner, but if I was using this, since it is like such a metallic sparkly gloss, I probably would have used a lip liner and then just kind of popped this maybe in the center, because it is kind of, it's a lot when it's all over the lips. Add a little bit more. This gloss is not my favorite formula from Colourpop, I've mentioned before, but I just feel like it's a little just almost too thick to where it's just a smidge too sticky for my liking. It's fine, it's just not like a favorite of mine, and if I do use it, I very much go sparingly with it, because if you apply too much, like you can see, it will just get goopy. So that's another reason I like to apply it with a lip liner and just like barely hit the lips with it, because it won't look as goopy on the lips, and also it'll help with it not transferring everywhere. But this is our final look with the collection. How pretty. This turned out so, so fun. I low-key love it. Let's zoom out though so we can get into my final thoughts. So let's break everything down. Eyeshadow palette I think is really fun. I think it's really pretty. I love purples, so I feel like it's just a fun launch, especially going into summer soon. I just feel like this one is going to be one that I can see a lot of people really enjoying. If you like purples, of course. Obviously, if you don't enjoy purples, you probably wouldn't like this palette, but I love the eye look. I think it turned out so monochromatic, just so fun and bright and all of the good things. And then for the highlights, I really like the look of it in the pan, and I do think it looks pretty on the face. I like it a little bit better further away. I feel like when you're just up there, it really just emphasizes my texture because it is on the more glittery side, but I do think it's pretty. It has a nice shift to it. It's just not going to be like a new favorite for me personally, but I do think it's pretty. The gloss, however, I'm not feeling it. I feel like it feels really sticky on the lips, and it's just too sparkly for my liking. This isn't something that I would probably ever really reach for. I also feel like it's like making my teeth look a little more yellow because of the purple base. I'm not super into this gloss, but the Super Shock though, however, from the collection, very good, especially the one that we used on our lid. I just think it's so sparkly and pretty. That would probably be my top pick from the collection, would be the Super Shock that we used because it's just so fun, but I did really enjoy the eyeshadow palette as well. You guys will have to let me know down below what you think of this look. Are you planning on grabbing anything from the collection? I always love to hear from you. Again, my link and my coupon code will be down in the description box. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you very soon with a brand new video. Bye, friends.